to another wonderful episode of the Startup Celebrity Show, where we showcase emerging spiritual entrepreneur superstar and let them have a platform to showcase their story and their gifts. You know, we all have a story, and today I am so happy and honored to have one of our spiritual members. Oh yes, why am I talking about spiritual members? Because she's from my spiritual entrepreneurs group, the Spiritual Entrepreneurs, where we're hosting more than 17,000 members from around the world. And she's from Europe, and you know, it's such a great platform where I get to meet cool cat people like her. So who am I speaking to today? And today I'm speaking to Kathleen. She's an energy healing specialist and life transformational mentor. She helps women who feel lost, blocked, or stuck in their life to get their power back, reconnect deeply with their souls and bodies, and start creating their most secret dreams. I like that, most secret dreams. So welcome Kathleen. Welcome to the show. Tell us more about you. I mean, since we're on the topic of spirituality, and I'm sure that most of the audience are spiritual. If you don't, then go get yourself into a group and find out what the spiritual nothing to do with religion. But tell us more about you.
So firstly, hi everybody. I'm so glad to be able to share with you my message today. I really feel honored, and I appreciate the possibility to say my message a little bit louder and to share with you, because I have one big takeaway I would like you to hear from this call today. So my name is Kathleen Zajac, and right now I work with corporate women, with professional women, and I help them relieve stress and anxiety and bring back the joy and happiness, because that's what we crave for. That's what we truly dream for. And you know, I've been a corporate woman myself, actually. For most of my life, I was that achiever. I believed in my mind that whatever I wanted to achieve, I was able to do it. And really, believe me, I was able to achieve whatever I wanted. I was born with a skin disease, and I recovered. That was my goal number one. Then I secured my corporate job with just one interview. And also I was working full-time, doing my corporate job and doing PhD studies. So, you know, I was perfect. Yes, you can handle that. I mean, you will get exploited, but hold on for a second, you know. So I was really perfect when it comes to time management, organizing, planning, taking action, achieving goals, whatever. And I still love this moment when you have a checklist and you cross out the bullet points at the end of the day because you've done so much. Mm-hmm. So that was my life for most of my life, until one day, and that was Friday chilly morning in Ireland, in Europe, when I woke up and I simply couldn't move. You know, I felt so paralyzed and I felt so scared. If you think of, well, you, Alisa, have children. So if you think of a child who just doesn't want to go to a kindergarten, mm-hmm. and it says, no, I'm not going to do it. That's how I felt, you know. And I'm not sure if you ever felt so down, you know, so tired, mm-hmm. and so frustrated. And you feel frustrated so much that you cannot even think of any clear solution for you, because, you know, you're just so tired, you cannot clearly think. But at the same time, with each and every cell of you, you're just shouting. You are craving for a change so desperately, and you have no idea which way to go. Mm-hmm. So I think after 2 hours, I was finally able to move from my bed and, you know, to go to a doctor and take a week off. But I didn't quit the job. I stayed in my corporate job for that time. So I took a week off, and I dived deeper into all that meditational stuff, because I've been meditating for a very long time. And I was trying to connect with myself, you know. I was asking myself those questions like, what has happened that my body rejected me so much? How do you connect with your body? What should you do? Like, people say it's all about intuition. What is intuition? How do you listen to your intuition? How do you hear that inner voice? Mm-hmm. And how shall I know whether that's actually my intuition or maybe my fear speaking to me? Like, how do you sort all that out? And I think it took me about a year when I was still at my corporate work. I was still doing my corporate work, calculating Excel spreadsheets and so on. I didn't leave the corporate work. And at the same time, I was very intensively working on so-called, as I know right now, the feminine side of me. Mm-hmm. Because what was missing was that feminine side. You know, corporate life is all about masculine energy. This is acting, taking action, achieving goals. And feminine energy, that was the part that was missing in my life. And that was the part of myself that I was missing so much. Mm-hmm. But the funny thing was that I was rejecting it as much that finally my body had to just to say, hey, stop. I'm not going to move any further with you because we are not going to move that direction, right? Mm-hmm. So that's really my message for you, that, you know, if you are in a job which frustrates you, which makes you feel overwhelmed or tired or frustrated, it's not really about the job itself. It's about you and your relationship with yourself. And I also know that, you know, it may be hard at the very beginning to stop that madness you are in, because I was living in a madness. Just imagine doing PhD full time and working full time at the same time. I was working 7 days a week. I mean, I loved it. I loved that energy I was in. But at the same time, this energy was draining me terribly. So if you are really lost or if you are tired with your work, just stop for a second, slow down, because you can slow down. It's just a matter of your decision, nothing more. And connect with yourself, check in with yourself what's happening there. And do not be afraid of checking that, because that's the beauty of you, which is hidden inside you. It's our job to reveal it.
Right.
So, yes.
You know, it doesn't seem like you are in the masculine energy. It just seems like right now you are so peaceful and you're so calm and you're like, ah. You have no ounce of that flustered energy. You have no ounce of that overwhelm right now. So it's interesting because so many people out there are telling people, you go quit your job, start a business, this and that. So what I'm hearing is you're not asking people to quit their corporate jobs, right? You're not.
No, I'm not. You know, I think it's just unfair. Honestly, it's unfair because I know there are so many women, and I'm sure, Alice, you know such women who are ambitious, who are career-oriented, who just want to get there, who want to be CEOs, who want to be executives. They want to be proud of themselves.
Right.
And telling such a woman, yeah, you have to quit the job because that's the only solution, it's like, I don't agree for such a black and white option. I believe there is a third way, and I found it. Like, yes, it will cost you time, energy, money, effort, whatever, but it's so worth it. Because at the end of the day, you know, you are able to have that corporate life, which you are proud of, because I have a lot of friends who are just proud of that. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, clear and secure that space for the feminine version of you and feminine energy in your life. Yes, of course, it's a matter of work. It's a matter of practice. You know, I do it every day. Like, we are all entrepreneurs. We have to take action, and action is about masculine. So it's like, it's about keeping and maintaining the balance each and every day. But once you know how to do it, you can do it.
Yeah. Such a breath of fresh air. I mean, you know, Kathleen, it's amazing how I hear gems like yourself. You know, I say this in every episode and I genuinely mean it, because out there in mainstream, you just hear people quit your corporate job, go start a business, go do this, go do that. And through these interviews, I'm telling you, Kathleen, like yourself, I'm taking people out of the woods and I hear a brand new perspective, and I sincerely mean it when I say it's a breath of fresh air. Like, you're not getting people to quit their jobs. You're just getting people to own who they are and just do what they want. It may be a job. They may be one. Yeah, you're right. You know, not everybody wants to start a business, right? Some people may just go through, you know, climb the corporate ladder, and there is nothing wrong with it. And I think there are so many people, coaches out there, make climbing the corporate ladder wrong, having a job wrong. I mean, there is nothing wrong with having a job or starting a business. It's really up to you. right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
I love this. And so for the women who are spiritual and have no intention of quitting a job, and they're not vibing with everyone else who is saying, go quit a job, start a business, what tips do you have for these women who are so much in the masculine energy and really find that there's something missing, which is the feminine energy? How does she recognize that she's missing the feminine energy?
How does she recognize they? You will know it. Firstly, you will feel drained, frustrated, overwhelmed, stressed, burnout, whatever, you name it. You just feel you are done. And you are feeling more and more tired, and it's a downward spiral. And then the second way to recognize this is that you feel deep inside you anxiety. You just feel the anxiety. You know something is missing. And very often you can't name it, but you really know something is wrong. And because you are in masculine energy, and because you are an action taker, you are looking for solutions. You want to name it. You want to find the label to sort it out, because you know very well you are an action taker. So once you name it, you will find the solution. But with feminine energy, it doesn't work this way, right? Mm-hmm. So my tip number one, and that's the first thing I teach my clients, is to meditate. This is the key to everything, really. Because when you meditate, you can do whatever you want. Like you can connect with the feminine energy, with the sexual energy. You can connect with your body, with your subconsciousness, with your soul, with God, with protectors. You can even create when you are in meditations, right? You can work with energy. There are so many things out there. But meditation is about concentrating on being fully present here and now. So you center yourself, you ground yourself. And very often what those corporate women miss is that they live in the future, they are everywhere because there are so many things to handle. And when they ground themselves, that's the first relief they feel, actually. And that's, when they start working on that, when they start connecting with themselves, even though at the very beginning it feels like whoa, and what the hell you want from me, girl? Like I'm just supposed to be sitting for 5 minutes or so. But that's when miracles start to happen. They start looking at life in a different way. And then we dive deeper. I have 3 pillars that I love working on. And this is intuition. So you can connect with intuition when you meditate. That's the simplest way to explain at the very beginning for them. You work with your body, you redefine your relationship with your body. Not as a to-do list of things you have to do in the morning and in the evening. and the first thing is learn to receive. And that's usually the biggest one.
That's great. I have another question. Like, in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual world, we're all talking about go find your soul purpose, go find your purpose in life, this and that. And a corporate woman might be thinking, gosh, what can my soul purpose be in a corporate job? Like I can't do all the healing stuff, and we all think in the spiritual community means doing your soul purpose means healing, right? Or go save the whales, or go save So, like, would a corporate woman go through that dilemma? Like, oh my God, if I'm in a corporate job, can I still find my soul purpose? Can I still live my mission?
Of course you can. I have one of the best friends of mine. She lives in the corporate world. And you know what she loves doing? She loves project management. And when she manages projects, that's her zone of genius. She does it with such a flow and such an ease, and people collaborate with her easily. She just loves that, and she's perfect in that. So I think we shouldn't. And if I told her you have to quit the job because that's the only way you will find your soul purpose, she will be frustrated. Because she loves what she's doing and she's really great in that. So I think we started looking at things in really black and white perspective, and that doesn't really serve anybody, especially to our clients.
And I also noticed, like, in your description, you didn't call yourself an energy healer, but instead an energy specialist. So
what's the difference?
Yeah, like, I mean, from what I hear, clearly you work with the energies
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily just hands-on healing. So do you do hands-on healing, or so what's the difference in your perspective?
Well, I do everything, of course. I do hands-on healing. I do distant healing as well, and I have my favorite methods, as energy healer has in the toolbox. But I just, I just found this name more resonating with me than energy healer, and that's a hard one actually, because I don't know why. That's the problem with intuition. Intuition will not give you an answer to a why type of question. I just take it around, and it
But
was
it's
natural.
cool. It's cool. So, what was your journey? I mean, what was the moment? Is it because of your job that you are spiritually awakened? What was going through at that point besides the job? Was there anything else?
Of course, this is an endless journey actually, and that's the beauty of it. I actually, when I was 13 years old, I entered my grandfather's home, and I saw just one book. He was a very intelligent man, and he had a huge library. And I found the book, which was published in 1963. It was already yellow at that time when I saw it, and dusty. And it was philosophy and theory of yoga. And that's how I started meditating. So no idea why. I was 13 years old.
Oh my God.
So yes, it's more than 20 years now. And
now we know how old you are. You just gave it away.
That's okay. I'm really proud of my age. I love my age. I really love it. And, it's like, I have no idea why I felt so attracted to that book. But anyway, I started meditating. And then I remember I consciously started seeing the energy in 2009. But I think I was already seeing that, auras, chakras, and so on. It just, my mind was rejecting that part of the reality. So yes, and then actually, and that may be interesting for you or for any of those who are watching us, is that actually I blocked my gift for quite a few years, because I felt like
I was going to ask you, Kathleen. I mean, like you started meditating at 13.
Yeah.
I mean, you started using energy only in 2009. You were saying, right?
Well, yeah.
But so what happened in between? That's such a huge gap.
Well, I was really, I think I was reading a lot. I was studying a lot, but I found it so natural for me that I even, I discovered many types of meditation somehow unconsciously. Like, for example, meditation with movement. That was the one I was practicing. So it was not really, for me, it's all about the inside job. I was not going to the bookstore and checking out, oh, I want to open my third eye. Oh, I want to learn more about NT energy and so on. It was all coming to me naturally. And I think this is the natural growth, because, it saves you from ego. You don't fall into ego that I want to have this skill. I want to have this skill.
But in the corporate world, isn't it very ego-based?
Yes, it is. It is very masculine.
So I'm like having this influx of confusion of energy right now. Like, you started meditating at 13. You went into overwhelm, into the corporate world, chasing.
Yeah.
And then, did you meditate during that period of time?
Probably yes. Yes, because it's so natural for me. But still, what was missing? Because, you can meditate in different ways. You can connect with yourself, right? You can listen to your intuition. But what was missing in my case was the whole feminine part, the body part, the creativity part.
Right.
That was the part that I rejected. Or maybe I was not really aware of the part that, it existed at that time.
So it's really interesting, because I want to bring to a point where, just because you meditate doesn't mean that all your answers will be sorted, right?
No.
Like, you are aware, but still you got sucked into the ego chasing of, I don't know, success that you want to call it. And, it's like you are still connected. I mean, I don't see you denying that connection. You are still connected.
Yeah.
But still, you went through this entire phase, and then you you had to go through the entire food chain, spiritual chain to come back to where you are. And most of us, we weren't aware of our spiritual gifts. We just go through the yada yada days. But you are so unique. You actually got activated at age 15, but still went through the entire chain.
Yeah, I think, but it helps me because right now I understand those moments and I understand their challenges. I understand their frustrations because I've been there. So I find, this whole experience so much more enriching. And also I have to, one thing that I wanted to say is that I blocked my gift.
You're
It
right.
was a moment, it was when I started seeing that energy and I thought, oh my God, I have an access to a different dimension of the world and what I'm going to do about it right now.
How did you know you have access? Like how did you realize that, oh my God, when was this and what was that euphoric moment for you?
I think it was really 2009 when I consciously, I was sitting in the cafeteria and I just saw, just waiting for a friend. And I saw that energetic green field with all those layers and dimensions around a flower, on a table. So that was my conscious moment. Because I think that I was seeing everything much, much earlier, as you say, but I was just blocking that on my mind, with my mind. I was just blocking that on the conscious level. And I was blocking that because, if you study yoga, if you study Buddhist texts and so on, they all talk about so-called siddhis. Siddhis, these are gifts. These are like bonuses, which you get when you follow that path of enlightenment. And those gifts, they shouldn't distract you. They are like extra bonuses, but you should be still focused on that path of enlightenment. And that's what I really thought for a very long time. Like, no, these are extra things I shouldn't care about. I should be focused on my, so you see goal achieving, right? I should be focused on my path of enlightenment and don't be distracted by those gifts that I was given. And it took me quite a while to redefine my skills, my gifts, that I can use them in favor, that I can use them to help others, not to hurt them, but to help.
Interesting, because so many people need to be activated, right? They need to go for certifications, but you are just naturally gifted.
Yeah, well, okay, I did certifications. I did them. I felt the need to have, confirmation on the paper for my gift. Sure. I felt the need, but I did certificate honestly a year ago, in 2015. So yes, that was a confirmation only for my mind.
Right.
I needed an evidence. That was all.
So do you think like everybody can have access to this dimension?
Of course, this is our natural gift. It's so natural when you watch small children until they reach the age of 3, usually they are able to see the energy. And they are able to see angels or those creatures hidden under the bed. And we are born with this natural gift. We just block it, or we are trained to block it in some way. We're brought up to be very rational. And this other dimension has nothing to do about rational. It has to do actually a lot with obedience or with surrender, that you accept the things as they are. You accept the things as they come. Of course, there are some nasty things as well, but that's the other story. Maybe not for today. But yes, it's very much about opening yourself, letting things happen to you. And yes, being obedient, I would say, definitely.
Interesting. So why do you think like we naturally block our gifts? I mean, it's interesting where spiritual people go through a phase. They enter spirituality and then they're like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And then I'm just going to not be human anymore. And then they realize, oh, I cannot not be a human being. And then they come back and be a human being again. So it's interesting, like all of us, if you talk to all the spiritual people, they would go through a crossroad, so to speak, an awakening, yes. Right? But yet this awakening it's available to everyone. So essentially all of us are spiritual. So have you met anyone who's super, super resistant to the idea of spirituality, of the idea of the other side?
To be honest with you, no. I haven't met such a person, but maybe because I do not attract such person, or I even repel them. And to be honest, when it comes to Facebook or social media, I have never encountered any single comment which would be negative to me. Never ever. So I think it's just I repel such people automatically. But Alice, it's the beauty of the life here is that we are given free will.
Right.
You choose whether you want to dive into that, let's say, soul discovery or the spiritual world, or whether you want to stay as you are, having your job, having your car, whatever you want. But the big thing about spiritual entrepreneurs, and I think you know what I mean, is that very often when you dive into the spiritual world, you just start to reject everything that is material, like money, wealth, luxury, and so on. And then we all get to it. I think it's just a part of the road we are in. It's so common. I think we all get.
Did you reject money before?
I actually, no, it got even worse,
Oh my God, tell me.
I was not really, actually, yeah, I was blocking the flow of money.
Mm-hmm. Why were you blocking the flow of money?
Now?
I mean, then, why were you blocking the flow of money? What was your mindset?
Oh, I'm going to, yeah, that's an interesting, actually, story. It's still interesting for me. So once I entered that spiritual world, I decided to be coach and have my website, have my pricing, and so on. Mm-hmm. I thought in a very rational way about my pricing. Again, goal achiever, right? Mm-hmm. So I typed in some prices. I had low range, mid range, and so on. Mm-hmm. But somehow I was not able to stand behind my prices. I was not able to sell them, really. No matter whether they were low or medium, I was not able to sell them.
So here's a light bulb moment here, ladies or gentlemen. If you think it's about price, it's not. I'm not the only one who said it. See, look, Kathleen said it too. It's not about price just because she couldn't even sell her cheaper version. So
no, I was really, and the funny thing was that I didn't even sound convincing, behind my prices. And the reason was because I had already known that what I do is hugely transformative. So it's totally priceless. And then when I was going to my client, I was basically discounting myself. That is why I did not feel connection with my message and with my pricing. So I'm just saying that because I think that's quite an interesting mindset block. When you back in your head that actually you sell yourself short because you value your services and you know that the value of your services is much higher than your current price. But just food for thought that it can be this way as well.
So how did you transform that? Because I mean, I went through the same thing, and I know a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, especially healers. Like, who am I to charge so much? It's not, I'm doing God's work. I mean, when I started, my friends told me you can't charge because you're doing God's work, and I'm not the unique one. Look, you have the same story. So how did you transform that? Like, you know what? I can charge whatever I want. I mean, not $1 million when you don't feel it, but don't overcharge. Do you undercharge, right? You charge exactly where you are. So how did you come to that point?
Again, we have left brain and we have right brain. So firstly, I started with the left one, which is rational. And I made a list. I really draw a list, my favorite one, my favorite tool. What I do for my clients. How do I make them feel? And the list was very long. I still have it always with me whenever I feel, a little bit lost. So I made this list, wrote down everything, really everything. I went through testimonials of my clients, went through testimonials of my friends, wrote down every single thing, how I made my clients feel, what changes happen to their lives once we go through the healing process. And then on the second sheet of paper, I wrote what I had to do to know what I know. And once I saw that part of chart, so to say, that, for example, I had to study this and that, I have to go through that, through this. You know, so many things I was not aware, actually. That I read so many books about Tantra or history of Buddhism. Usually people don't do it. And I was even practicing mudras on my own, you know, those play with fingers. And once I saw that part of the chart, I that was the moment when it clicked. And I felt like, okay, yeah, I fully deserve. And that was how I convinced my left brain, because of my left brain was blocking me.
Mm. Your own ego mind was blocking you, actually.
Exactly.
Right. So awesome. And so this is such a great exercise. It's a great tool where you write down what you do for your clients and what you actually had to go through to acquire those gifts to be able to provide whatever transformational thing you do for your client. I mean, that is so smart. I mean, at the end of the day, if we can't convince ourselves to sell ourselves, then there is a misalignment, and it's going to be unfair for the client as well, because you are not fully present. You have that, oh my God, like that undeserving energy, and you're going to pass it on to your clients, which is not fair as well. So you might as well charge your worth. And you know, did you have thoughts like, oh my God, if I were to charge my worth, then there wouldn't be any clients? Because this is the main thing for most healers and coaches. If I charge, in fact, if I really do charge my worth, what if there are no clients? Did you have to go through those thoughts?
And when I was in lower range and mid range, yes.
Mid range?
Yes, even mid range. No, because you know, it's like I know exactly what changes I bring into my client's life. I know it. And for me, price is just price. That this is the exchange. This is the exchange for that energetic, powerful container I create for my client, whether for a month or total immersion or for 6 months journey. But I know that once we start working together, they will end up in a completely different price because I will lift them up. So that is priceless. And the price is, this is an exchange. This is an exchange. And, you know, that was the moment when I also stopped being attached to the pricing. I'm not scared anymore. You know, I don't feel like I stop upon, say, on the phone saying, oh, I'm not sure, or if that's the right price or so on. Not anymore. So for me, I'm just sharing the story because I know it's an interesting case for me even. Observe that I blocked myself on that lower level.
I mean, it's so comforting to know that, I mean, people hear it from me all the time, but it's so comforting to know a fellow healer coach who did experience that as well. So if you, for whatever reason, are going through this, oh my God, like, can I charge that much? Then, you know, Kathleen is also saying that this is part of the journey. It's just part of mastering your emotions and your money story and your self-worth, right? And so it's all part of the journey, and you will walk out feeling stronger and more assertive about your confidence, about your price. So like what she said, if you are going through this period, then go back to the drawing board and convince yourself why you're worth that much, because the ego will always be there, right?
Yes, it's like I think also that's a mistake spiritual people do. They want to forget about the ego, like, you know, push it away. But we have it, and we have it for a certain reason. That's a tool. That's a tool we can use. That's one of the tools we have in our toolbox, like intuition, body, physical body, energy, so on. So just use it smartly, so that it serves you.
Yeah, it's true. You know, a lot of spiritual people just want the light side, the shadow side, thinking it's evil, it's just not good. But they forget without darkness, light cannot shine through, right? Likewise, without the light, there's no dark. I mean, the light cannot shine without the dark. So there's nothing to be worried about, and there's nothing to be scared of the ego, right?
Exactly.
So I want to just ask you, what is the number one tool or strategy you have for your clients to stay grounded and be feminine? In fact, be both feminine and masculine, you know,
because that's how we are.
Masculine. There's nothing wrong with being feminine, you know, how to be balanced so that We stop being a crazy woman.
Yeah, and drive into madness. Yes, it's like we both have this feminine and the masculine energy. It's all about keeping in balance. My one word is meditate. This is my tip number one, and I know it's as simple as that, but really do meditate.
So what are those people who cannot meditate, especially for corporate women? And when I started, trying to meditate, the mind chatter is going, you know? So what is one tip for people who simply cannot meditate? And is meditation just sitting down and or is there any other ways to meditate as well?
Of course there is. What I mean by meditation is a different state of your mind. So, there are a lot of stereotypes about meditation that, for example, you need a whole hour or more to sit down in stillness and just not move. But if you are, let's imagine we are right now in the office, doing our corporate job. You have your Excel spreadsheets. I have my Excel spreadsheets. And then we got into that stressful mode. We feel this energy of stress. So what you can do is concentrate for a second. You can close your eyes. You can concentrate on your breath. Just slowly concentrate on yourself and forget about anything around you. This is how you can easily disconnect from the outside, from the energy that is outside of you, and dive deeper to you. And just concentrate on breathe. If you have a plant in your office, but I know that a lot of corporations do not allow you to have a green plant on your desk. I work in such corporations, so they do not allow. But anyway, so if you have a green plant, look at this green plant, because that's a part of the nature, and it will automatically connect with that very natural, very basic part of you. And just look at those leaves for 3 minutes without analyzing the spreadsheets. Just dive into.
It's true.
Observe.
Corporate women don't have 1 hour to sit and all day long.
No, this is not what I teach my women, because I know that it will never work. But basically you can meditate wherever you are. Well, unless you are not driving a car, because that's
right.
That's not the same option.
That's so cool. Thank you for saying this and addressing this, because when we talk about meditation, we think about robes and burning candles and just la la la, and you've said it so beautifully. It's just going to another state.
Yes, exactly. And inside, dive inside. Change the direction of your attention from the external and watching what is happening around you. The inside. The easiest way is to concentrate on breath, or to concentrate on just one thing for a few minutes.
So now, whether you're a corporate woman or you're a busy mama or you're an entrepreneur, you have no excuse not to meditate.
No, not a single one.
What it takes 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes?
Yeah, it takes 5 minutes.
So it just takes 5 minutes to stop what you're doing, concentrate on your breathing, and just disconnect from the external world and come back to the source, which is yourself. And voila, so no more excuses not to meditate. I'm telling it to myself as well. So it's not, it's the 1 hour that just, 1 hour that just drives you.
Nobody has time for that. When I'm in a rush, sometimes I am. I meditate when I brush my teeth. We all do that in the morning, right? It takes about 3 minutes. What do you mean? What I mean by saying I meditate when I brush my teeth? I concentrate only on brushing my teeth, nothing else. Just this.
Right. So
you stop your mind for a second.
Right. So that's so cool. It's like you don't have to close your mind and shut down, but just be present, like 100%, 125,000% present in what you're doing. Brushing your teeth. That is meditation. Like, not thinking of anything could be a meditation, right?
Yes, but when you concentrate on not thinking of anything, then suddenly thousands of thoughts come into your mind. I'm sure you've experienced that. You sit in the stillness, you have all those candles and sticks and pillows around you, and you've just created this nice atmosphere, and you think, oh, right now I'm going to concentrate. And then all those thoughts arrive and you cannot concentrate for a second, and you want to have your mind clear, but it doesn't work somehow.
Right.
So yes, of course, there are different ways of meditation, different stages of, but these are like quick tips for you that you can use in everyday life.
Yeah.
So no excuses, really,
No
no
excuses.
excuses.
But the good news is once you enter that state and your body recognizes it, the next time, boom, it goes in very, very quickly. That's
It goes faster and faster. Yes, exactly.
it's faster and faster and it's faster. So really no excuses. And when you actually attain that state, you actually don't want to get out, to be honest, because it's so beautiful, and I know this also. I mean, there's an intention for every meditation. Sometimes you just want to shut it down, sometimes you just want to seek answers. And so I think meditation can be used for various reasons, not just calming your mind. It could go in and seek answers as well, I think. So that's another reason to meditate.
Of course, there are you can do so many things.
Yeah.
Really, so many things, and you can even connect with the feminine energy. You can communicate with your body, and with God, with your soul. You can do energy work if you work with energy when you meditate as well. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless, really.
Really, really. I mean, don't be fooled by the word meditation, because as Kathleen has told us, I mean, he has time and time and time again reminded us meditation has a lot of benefits, and there are 1,001 ways, a million of ways to actually tap into the word meditation. So it's up to your own imagination, to be honest. So where can we find you? I mean, we have provided so much. I mean, in half an hour, we have talked about corporate world, we talked about money, we talked about meditation. Wow, it's productive. So, I mean, where can people find more about you and your work?
You can check my work and referrals and testimonials of my clients on my website, which is kathleenzajac.com. I also have a profile on Facebook and the group on Facebook, which is Women Limitless, Powerful, Beautiful. And this is a community of inspiring women. They are from very different backgrounds, not only spiritual entrepreneurs or coaches, but also everyday moms, just have children and they love them. But these are all women who want to move to the higher level, who look for inspiration and who want to connect with themselves. So we are on this journey together.
Excellent, beautiful. We are on this journey together. Beautifully put, and that's a great way to end this interview. So if you want to find out more about Kathleen, please go to her website. I'll be including it all in the links below or above, wherever I decided to post this video. That's how it is. Life is as such. You just go with the flow, right? I'll meditate.
Yes, exactly.
This time where I shall put a link. So if you are not part of our spiritual community, please go ahead and get your bums over there and go to Facebook and search us, The Spiritual Entrepreneurs, where you see my face there and request to join. And we're more than happy to approve you and to network with you. Kathleen is one of our members there. You can certainly find her there and start a conversation with her and other 17,000 members from around the world. Alrighty, so this is Elisa once again, and I really enjoyed this session so much, and I look forward to seeing you again soon in another episode, the Startup Celebrity Show. All right, see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.